have a daily current affairs hit list series, daily answer writing initiative. So all these initiatives will give you a competitive edge in your 2024 prelims as well as mains. Right? I hope this adds more value to your preparation. So see you in the quiz. Till then, bye. Take care.
So good evening everyone, welcome you all to this Officers General Quiz. So I hope that you saw this preceding video where it instructs how you can join in this quiz, and I will also brief you up. So kindly install this Kahoot app in the Play Store or your App Store, and you have to enter this game pin, and today's game pin is 615 and 188, and after entering you will be joining in this quiz. And if you are not having this app, even with your desktop you can participate in this quiz. And for that you just have to scan this ID or select this QR code, and directly you can visit the Kahoot website and you can participate in this quiz. And with the Officers General Quiz, I think you'll be knowing this. So every Wednesday we are conducting this quiz in particular, and the main aim is to develop your inquisivity in the general affairs and also to develop the sense of conviction, right? See, this is a time bounded quiz and you won't be having enough time, and it is especially within a specific time you should be able to pick the correct answer, and with this sense of competitiveness it will be more thrilling and ultimately it's of fun. So I hope you are ready for the today's quiz. So let us look at the first question. So the first question is, the President can dissolve the Lok Sabha on the advice of, and the options are below. A. Advice of the Prime Minister. B. Advice of the Chief Justice of India. C. Recommendation of Lok Sabha, and D. Recommendation of Rajya Sabha. I hope you are aware of the fact that President is the head of the state, right, and he is also the head of the executive. So a basic question from the subject of polity, and I hope you will be mostly guessing the correct answer. So you could see most of you have filled your answer. And the time's up. Let us look at the polls of the options, like how many of them have chosen. So the first option, advice of the Prime Minister, is chosen by 48%, and B and C, D, all of them are in a minimal amount, and the answer is right on the advice of the Prime Minister. So the option A is correct, color red code is correct, right? So let us look at the scorecard. So Anand 9025 has been placed in the first rank, and he scored 989 score, so he has scored in a very quick time. That's great. Then he's been followed by Madhi, Jiva, Sri Sai and Shankari in the place of 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. So it is like Prime Minister, who is the head of the cabinet, he has the power to advise the President to dissolve the Lok Sabha. It's also a thing like even before the end of the 5-year tenure, he has the power to advise the President, and this can be dissolved by the President on the advice of Prime Minister. So that's great, right? I hope people are more enthralled to the quiz. Let us look at the second question. Satyameva Jayate is taken from, and the options are A. Rig Veda, B. Satpatha Brahmana, C. Mundaka Upanishad, and D. Ramayana. This word Satyameva Jayate is obviously of Sanskrit, and it's a pretty famous one, and it is also loved by our father of our nation, right? That's great, like most of you have answered. That's good, because like when you know the answer, it's always better to test it out, because these kinds of quiz gives you this platform of giving this conviction, and you should be able to select the right answer within the given time. That's great, like don't get confused, and if you have this answer you can select it. So let us look at the polls. So the polls are like, first mostly I've chosen the option C, Mundaka Upanishad, and option A, Rig Veda is succeeding the second poll. So on the other, option B and D are not chosen much, and let us look at the answer. The answer is C, Mundaka Upanishad, and 42 of you are getting it correct. So let us look at the leaderboard. So we could see like there are some changes in the leaderboard, and the first place is taken by Anand. Anand is leading, and it's about 8 points, is leading by 8 points, and is followed by Sri Sai, Namrat, Kavipriya and Mani Harshan. So new names we could see that. So especially Dichita Devi has climbed up to 16 places within this one question. So about Satyameva Jayate, it literally translates into truth alone triumphs. And about this motto, Satyameva Jayate is the official motto of Indian government, and it's taken from this Mundaka Upanishad. And Mundaka Upanishads, you would have heard this name Upanishad frequently, especially in the Rig Vedic text. So Upanishads are also known as the Vedanta. So they are actually compiled at the end of the Vedic period, and they mostly focus on the knowledge and the philosophical parts of the ritual. So this Mundaka Upanishad is taken from the fourth Veda, which is the Atharvana Veda, right? So let us look at the next question, the third one. Tillana is a format of, and the options are A, Kuchipudi, B, Odissi, C, Bharatanatyam, and D, Kathak, right? All the four of the options are classical dances of India, and you could see the different regions. I would consider this question as somewhat a tricky question, and if you are able to choose it correct, it's really great, right? So it is not of a very famous topic, and it's coming from art and culture. And your time's up, right? So let us look at the polls. So option C, Bharatanatyam, has been polled by many of you, and absolutely is the correct answer, right? Bharatanatyam is the correct answer, and it's been followed by option D, Kathak, right? So about the answers, like before seeing them, let us look at the scoreboard first. So moving on to the scoreboard, Sri Sai, which we have been seeing the past two questions, right? Sri Sai has taken the first place, followed by Pappu and Manihar Arshan, Namrat and Das. So many new names have risen, and Uday 3325 has risen, and he has an answer streak of 3. That's really great. So about these options, right, as I told, all the four of them are of Indian classical dancers, and especially this Tillana. Tillana is actually, if you really looking at its definition, it forms under the Carnatic music. And this Tillana, especially in the Bharatanatyam programs, you could see them at the end part, right? At the finishing part of the Bharatanatyam recitals, you could see this Tillana, and it is usually a fast beat, and fast footworks is needed in this Tillana, right? And there's also a famous song, I think it's named on this word, right? Tillana, Tillana. And this Kathak, right, Kuchipudi is a dance of Andhra Pradesh, Odissi, as the name says, is a dance of Odisha, Bharatanatyam from the state of Tamil Nadu, and Kathak is a dance from Uttar Pradesh, and it's also pretty famous from the movie Vishwarupam, where actor Kamala Hassan dances this specific dance, Kathak, right? So moving on to the next question, the fourth question of today's quiz. The Char Minar is located in which of the places given below, right? So the options are A. Ahmedabad, B. Hyderabad, C. Delhi, and D. Sikri. So another question from the art and culture, right? And I think it's a pretty easy question because it's a very famous place, a significant landmark, we could say that. So 10 seconds remaining. Right. So let us look at the polls of the options which have been chosen by you. So the option B, Hyderabad, has been chosen by like 45 of you people, and it's definitely the right answer, right? And the other options which has been preceded is option B, Delhi. I could say, if you're in the terms of guess, it's a good guess because you could see many Islamic architecture in the city of Delhi. But unfortunately, this Char Minar is located in Hyderabad. And let us look at the leaderboards. So it's been topped by Namrat once again, and followed by new names like Mani Arshan. Mani Arshan, I think we saw in the fourth question, right? And Das, Adi, and Arivu. So good, keep it up. And we have still like more than 11 questions. We have 11 questions. So try to pick up the face. So about this Char Minar literally translates into 4 Minar. Char means 4 and Minar means towers. So this Char Minar is actually built by the Deccan Sultanates. So who are these Deccan Sultanates? So during the time of Mughals, especially simultaneously towards Mughals, in the south there were other Sultan empires, and they are also pretty famous in these regions. So there are 3 important sultanates, like one were in this Golconda region, right, which is in the present state of Telangana, and the other were in the Ahmednagar region, which is the south region of Maharashtra, and another is the Bijapur region, which is the northern part of Karnataka and the Goa. So these 3 were the important sultans which were ruling the southern region. That's why they are known as the Deccan Sultan. And especially this Char Minar is also, I think officially it is the symbol of the state of Telangana, right? So let us look at the next question, the 5th question. So a pretty easy question. OS, computer abbreviation, usually means? And I would term this as the easiest question of the above 4 questions we have seen, right? It's pretty easy one, and mostly students of whichever background, you can't say the exception of different background in your 11th and 12th. Obviously you should be knowing this. It's a pretty easy one. I think most of you have answered this question. And the time's up. So let us look at the polls. So 63, right? So like more than 90% of you have chosen the right option, which is operating system, right? So let us look at the scoreboard. So it's topped by Mani Arshan and followed by Namrat, Das, Adi, and Bharat, right? So 3 players have reached answer streak of 4, which means for the 4 questions they have been choosing the correct answers. It's pretty great, right? So about this operating system, so you would have heard many names like this: Microsoft, Linux, Mac, and it's always succeeded by this two letter OS, which is operating system. So what is this operating system? So in a simple term, if you want to brief it up, operating system is the main link which actually connects this hardware and software. So your phone or your desktop might be having RAM, ROM and the CPU which has everything, and there is another thing like apps. For example, let us consider this Microsoft Word in the laptop or a document or your desktop, or let us consider games, right, like what Clash of Clans or PUBG. These are apps which are softwares. So there is something which is needed for a user to interact with this hardware and this software, and here this OS comes, and this OS links this software and the hardware and finally gives the desired result which the user, which means us, we need, right? So let us look at the sixth question. So this comes from the science and tech background. The purpose of choke in a tube light is, so option A, increases the current, option B, decreases the current, option C, momentary voltage decrease, and D, momentary voltage increase. A pretty tricky question, like most of us would have read it in our secondary syllabus, but still like we would have forgot. It's a pretty simple thing which we see in our daily appliances. Five seconds remaining. Most of you have answered, I think, right? And the time's up. Let us look at the polls. So for the option D, momentary voltage increase, most of you have voted, about 40, and momentary voltage decrease is followed by that, about 14 of you have voted, and the right answer is obviously the D, momentary voltage increase. So before the explanation, let us look at the scoreboard. So Mani Arshan is remaining at the first place, is leading, and we could see it's been followed by Das, Arivu, Varsha and Bharat, right? So let us look at the explanation of this concept. What is a choke? So you would have heard this word choke, especially while fixing this tube light, right? So because like this choke acts like a ballast. So let us consider this fluorescent tube, which when the current passes through it, we could see the light. See, this choke will first give the momentary increase in voltage, because at the first, to switch on the light, you need an increased voltage because the gas needs to be ionized to produce light. So for the momentary time, the voltage has to be increased, and this is being achieved by this choke. And after that, the voltage has to be regulated, otherwise the tube breaks, right? So that's why this choke acts like a ballast, and it also reduces the fluctuation of voltage after increasing it, right? So let us look at the seventh question. Amnesty International is an organization associated with which field? Option A, prevention of animal cruelty, option B, environment protection, option C, protection of human rights, option D, protection of historic monuments. This organization name, like if you are following the newspaper, you could see it frequently, right? This is an international organization, not a national organization. That's one clue which I could give. Ten more seconds remaining. And the time's up. Let us look at the polls. So option C has been chosen by like 32 people, and is followed by option D, right, protection of historic monuments. And the answer is option C, protection of human rights. So let us look at the scoreboards before the explanation. So once again, Mani Arshan is leading the board, kudos to you, and it's been followed by Arivu, Darshini, Bharat and Sampa, right, the new name, and Sampa has been claimed as the highest climber. He climbed up to 10 places with this question. So with regarding to Amnesty International is a international NGO, and I think it's been started in the year of 1961, especially after the World War II. And we could see with the demise of the World War, we could see there is increased in mortality of humans, and especially human lives have been treated in a very normal way without giving any importance, right. This creation, especially it's been created in the land of Britain in UK in 1961, and its main aim is to spread awareness about protection of human rights and to unify the voices of people, and wherever, in whichever regions of the world, if an issue of human rights is arising, this NGO along with the localized people will start to give the voice, so that the international community will notice this abrogation of human rights, right. So let us look at the 8th question. Who is known as the Metro Man of India? And the options are A. C. Rangarajan, B. Montek Singh Ahuvalia, C. E. Sridharan and D. Ratan Tata. A pretty tricky question, right? I think the polls have been shown up, right?
The time has been changed.
Right.
Instead of 100, it has been 20 seconds.
Right. So time has been reduced.
Only for this.
Only for this question. So is it okay for going for the discussion? Right?
Yes.
We can continue with it.
We can continue.
Right? So looking at the polls, we could see option C, E. Sridharan has been voted as the Metro Man of India, and it's obviously the right answer. Right? So let us look at the scoreboards before the explanation and a better description about this person called as E. Sridharan. So Darshini is leading the scoreboard and is followed by Bharat, Arivu, Saranya and Kavipriya. And Run, he has been the highest climber, has climbed up to 9 places with this question. So about E. Sridharan, why he is called as the Metro Man of India? He is a former civil servant and he joined in the Indian Railways Engineering Service. And throughout his term, he is very famous for completion of this two important projects, the Konkan Railway project and the Delhi Metro project. And he is well renowned for the completion of project at the time, and he never delays it. And he is a person of honesty and humility, and he has received many honors from not only from India, even from other developed countries like France. Right? And you could see from the point of UPSC, like this person can be used as an example in your GS4 paper for many topics, right? Hard work, discipline, humility and transparency, right? So an interesting personality. So let us look at the next question. Which city is known as the Diamond City of India? And the options are A. Ahmedabad, C. Chandigarh, B. Chandigarh, C. Hyderabad and D. Surat. All the four options have their own uniques. All the four cities in the options have their own unique production, and this city which has been asked in the question is majorly famous for this diamond commodity. Right? And the time's up. So by looking at the polls, you could see like 45 of you have voted for this option D, Surat. and which is the right answer. So let us look at the scoreboards. So we could see there's a change of ranks in the podium, and Bharat is leading the scoreboard, followed by Saranya, Kavipriya, Sampal and Shika. Right, it's a new name in the top 5, and Adi is making a comeback with 3 in a row. Kudos to Adi, right? So explanation about this diamond city, this tagline. See, like India doesn't have a huge resource of diamond, but we are very famous for this cutting of diamond and polishing of diamond. For example, we import these raw uncut diamonds from the diamond mining countries, example Russia. And this city of Surat is very famous, and many families are interested with this activities of polishing and cutting diamond. For example, this Surat city alone produces 90% of the world cut and polished diamonds. So like 90% of the world diamonds which are used in the jewelry is mostly coming from this city of Surat, and that's why it's been called as the diamond city of India, and it's located in the state of Gujarat, and it's pretty important from the modern history point of view, like where many colonizers entered India through this port of Surat. So let us move to the next question. Who is known as the Missile Women of India? And the options are A. Kamal Rana Dai, B. Kalpana Chawla, C. Tessie Thomas and D. Janaki Ammal. We obviously all know this, who is called as Missile Man of India, right? Our former president APJ Abdul Kalam sir. And this question is ought to be known because this woman has achieved a huge milestone in this concept of making missile, especially strengthening the defense system of our country. And your time's up. Let us look at the polls. So Tessie Thomas, option C of yellow color, has been voted by about 31 of you, and this is the right answer. And Kalpana Chawla has been followed by Tessie Thomas, right? She is the space woman of India, but Tessie Thomas is called as the missile woman of India. So let us look at the scoreboards before the explanation or discussion, right? So the scoreboard is led by Bharat and is followed by Saranya, Kavipriya, Sampa and Shika, right? So Das is making a comeback with a 3 in a row. Good, right? Keep it up, Das. So now let us look at the explanation why she is called as the Missile Women of India. So she was the first director of she is the first woman director to head a missile project. For example, the Agni 4, which is a ballistic land-to-land missile, was headed by this person, Tessie Thomas, and she also played a significant role in developing India's intercontinental ballistic missile, right, which is the Agni 5, right, and that's why she is called as the Missile Women of India. So now looking at the next question, the 11th question. The National Stock Exchange of India is located in, and the options are A. Mumbai, B. Delhi, C. Chennai, D. Kolkata. A pretty easy question. And don't get confused with the other exchange, which is also called as Bombay Stock Exchange, which is BSE. There are two important exchanges, National Stock Exchange of India and the Bombay Stock Exchange. Don't get confused with it. Most of you have answered. Kudos. So everyone answered. So the time's up. Let us look at the polls. So option A, Mumbai, has been voted by you for about 55 of you, voted for this, and this is obviously the right answer. Mumbai has this national stock exchange. So let us look at the scoreboards. So the scoreboard is staying still, and Bharat is leading, and followed by Saranya, Kavipriya, Sampa and Shika, right? So about this national stock exchange, and I think you all know what is a stock exchange. It is a place where you trade your securities and shares. So this national stock exchange is one of the largest stock exchanges in the world. I think it's about it has the third highest range of exchanges happening in a single day, and it's located in Mumbai. And Mumbai, this is a general tip, Mumbai is also called as the financial capital of India, because most of the financial decisions and the financial markets are located in Mumbai. Even the headquarters of the Reserve Bank of India is located in Mumbai, and Mumbai is like brimming with economic activities. Just an insight is like, if you are considering GDP of Mumbai alone, the metropolitan area of Mumbai alone, it is somewhat equal with the country of Pakistan. Right, that's how Mumbai is brimming with economical activities, and even the other metropolitans are very famous for their economic activities, Delhi, Chennai and Kolkata, right. So looking at the 12th question. So which one of the following states is the largest producer of lignite coal, right, not normal coal, lignite coal? And the options are A, Tamil Nadu, B, Bihar, C, Karnataka, D, Gujarat. Right, there are many coals, like many varieties of coals, and this depends upon their carbon content. For example, this coal called as anthracite, which has about 98% of carbon within it, and followed by bituminous, which has about 90%, and subbituminous, and this lignite, which has one of the poor quality of coal, but still this coal can be used for combustion and energy generation. Most of you have answered, good. And the time's up, let us look at the polls. So Tamil Nadu, like about 45 of you have chosen the option Tamil Nadu, which is the right answer, and it's followed by Karnataka, whom 10 of you have been polled, right? It's located near Tamil Nadu, and it's also having some coal mines. But let us look at the scoreboards before the actual explanation why Tamil Nadu is the correct answer. So the scoreboard, once again Bharat is leading the scoreboard, and followed by Saranya, Kavipriya, Sampa and Shika, right? So about Tamil Nadu, so lignite, as I told, it is a specific variety of coal which has less carbon content and has more wastage, but still, as I told, it can be used for energy generation through thermal plants. And Tamil Nadu has like about 79 to 80% of total lignite reserves of India, and I think you all know in which place it's located in Neyveli, right? There's a separate corporation for it, which is Neyveli Lignite Corporation, for mining this lignite coal from this region of Neyveli, right? So looking at the 13th question, and we still have like 13th, 14th, 15th question, just 3 questions, try to pick up your score, right? Choose the answer in the faster way. So pretty easy question, how many coastal states are there in India? Which means these states has to border the sea, and the 3 seas are like Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean and Bay of Bengal. And in these kind of question, even if you are like not exactly aware of the answer, you can simply map the political map of India in your mind, and you can just count the number of states which is being located along the sea water. And this is one of the easiest questions we have seen as of today. Right, 15 seconds more. So I think all of you have made your answer, and the option B is the correct answer. So 9 states are located alongside the ocean, and let us look at the scoreboard before the naming of the states. So the scoreboard is unchanged and Bharat is leading the board and it's like by 10 points of margin, and it's followed by Saranya, Kavipriya, Sampa and Shrika, and Shri has just hit an answer streak of 7. That's really great. So let us map these coastal states. So start with the western part of our country, which is Gujarat, right? Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, 3 states. Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, none of the 3 states. And looking up here, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and West Bengal, right? So these are the 9 states which are bordering the oceans. So let us look at the 14th question, a question from art and culture. So Madhubani is a style of folk painting is followed or is popular in which of the following states? And the options are A. Uttar Pradesh, B. Rajasthan, C. Madhya Pradesh and D. Bihar. And I presume that you know what is a folk painting, right? Folk paintings or painting which are done in their localites in a tribe or in that specific region, right? And though it might not have a rigid rules like the classical paintings, it's been adhered and it's been loved in that region. And currently with this trend, many people are loving these paintings, and these paintings are also getting GI tags. Five more seconds. Right. So now let us look at the polls. So this question I think which has a very distributed poll options and is led by BR. Right. 22 of you have polled for this option BR. Then closely followed by Rajasthan by 19 of you choosing this, and then Madhya Pradesh and finally Uttar Pradesh, and the answer is BR. And let us look at the scoreboards before the explanation. So the scoreboard is unchanged, and once again Bharat is leading the scoreboard and followed by Saranya, Kavipriya, Sampa and Shika, right? So about Madhubani painting, and Madhubani painting is followed in this region of Bihar, not only in Bihar, even in some other closely situated state, but especially in Bihar. And why it's called as Madhubani? Because it's followed in this Madhubani district of Bihar, and there is a small story behind it. And because this painting is mostly painted in the walls and freshly laid out mud walls, and these paintings, story is like it's been actually instructed by the king of Mithila, where like Lord Rama's wife Sita was born. And during the marriage of Lord Rama and Sita, the king of Mithila, he ordered all the people to paint their walls with the images of the couples and other gods in their walls, on their walls. And this led to this creation of this folk painting Madhubani. And now Madhubani painting, this style can be seen in even in textiles and papers, and it has a GI tag too, right, to increase its commercial value and its uniqueness. So now going to the last question of today's session, a pretty patriotic question. The national song of India was composed by A. Rabindranath Tagore, B. Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, C. Iqbal, D. Jaishankar Prasad. And I'm well aware, like, you know the difference between national anthem and national song, right? You have 35 more seconds. Five seconds more. Finally, looking at the polls. So option B, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee has been polled by about 37 of you, and which is the right answer. And it's followed by Rabindranath Tagore, and I won't tell it as a very bad guess because many of you tend to get confused with national anthem and national song, right? And let us look at the scoreboard before the explanation of our final question of today. So, coming to the podium session. So, Sampa has taken the third prize, Saranya has been placed in second, and finally Bharat has taken the first position. Kudos to all of you, and not only to these podium places, to all the people who have participated in this quiz, because irrespective of the result, it is about your way of competition, of treating competition in whichever way. Because in these situations we tend to grow and we tend to improve our conviction. So that's really great. And the winners, kindly look at the description of this video. You could see a number and kindly WhatsApp your name to receive your e-certificate. And discussion of the final question, right? We have discussed it. And national song, which is Vande Mataram or Bande Mataram, was composed by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee in the West Bengal region, or the present day Bengal region and Bangladesh region, right? And Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, he wrote this book known as Anand Math, which was inspired by another revolt known as Sannyasi revolt. And in this book Anand Math, he wrote a patriotic song known as Vande Mataram, right? And this song was first sung in the national session, Indian National Congress session, by Rabindranath Tagore, and people were inspired by this song. And later in 1937, this song was adopted by the Indian National Congress session as the national song of our country, right? But this song was actually banned from singing, and only after 1947 people were allowed to sing this song Vande Mataram. And in 24th Jan 1950, just 2 days before our Republic Day, this song was officially adopted as the national song of our country, right? So it was a wonderful session today, and kudos to you for participating in this quiz. As I told, the ultimate aim is to the sense of competitiveness and to bring in your sense of conviction. So I think like you enjoyed this quiz, and kindly spread a word about this quiz to your friends or your family members to enjoy this fun of competition, right? So thank you.